Bracketology, presented by Dave Campbell's Texas Football, breaking down the 2023 Texas High School Football Playoff brackets. I'm Greg Tepper. This is 4A Division 2. 4A Division 2, there's one region we're going to talk a lot about, like generally over here. But I think what happens over here on this side of the bracket may actually be more interesting, simply because there's more contenders and the star power on this side of the region is going to be interesting. Plus, you've got a region we're going to talk about in a moment where I think you've got a part of the state that this is when that part of the state starts to rise up. We'll go to Region 1. And specifically, let's talk about Region 1. 4A Division 2 is where West Texas really starts flexing its muscles. This is where they start to take over as opposed to the DFW area. This is where West Texas rules. Specifically, I love this Monahans team. I love this Monahans team. Chino Navarrete, their quarterback, is one of the most dynamic playmakers in the state. I also think they got a really nice draw, the top half of the bracket. They may see in a regional semifinal a team like West Plains out of the Canyon ISD. That is a team that I am very high on, a team that went 9-1 in the regular season. Or Graham, a team that is very interesting up there, kind of the northern part of West Texas. Keep an eye on that game. An area round matchup between West Plains and Graham would be a game you need to get tickets to right now. The bottom half of the region is harder to parse, right? Wichita Falls Hershey, I think, is really intriguing in their final year as a program. Can they make a run? That second round matchup with Seminole, I think, looms very large. And then there's Glen Rose. Remember, Glen Rose was the team that won the region last year, started off really slow, but ended up winning District 4. Is this the kind of team that just gets their wheels on in the playoffs and makes another deep run? Keep an eye on Glen Rose. Let's go to Region 2. Now, this is where I think a lot of the attention is going to be paid to, because you've got a couple of teams that are used to playing very deep in the playoffs. Specifically, ta-da, the Carthage Bulldogs, the defending state champs. Yeah, I mean, what else is there to say? They have 9 state championships, looking for their 10th, and they have been outstanding. 10-0, the number 1 team in the state. Quarterback Jet Surratt has really grown into the role, and more importantly, their defense has been lights out. What's their path look like? Down here, I think they're the favorite out of this bottom half of the bracket. But then, Pleasant Grove looms very large Thanksgiving weekend. Carthage, Pleasant Grove could be what we're talking about whenever we're carving the turkey. This is a fascinating matchup out there in East Texas, 2 programs that know each other very well. Top half of the bracket is really interesting as well. Van, who gave Carthage a run in week 10 rather. Keep an eye on Van. I think that the Vandals are a dangerous team. Aubrey out of District 5, the champions there, are very interesting. I like this Sunnyvale team a lot. And then, if you are just a high school football junkie, this game, Gilmer and Center, cut the brakes. Okay, this game's going to have 170 points scored because both these offenses are absolutely outstanding. Ton of fun here in Region 2, specifically when we get to Thanksgiving weekend with perhaps a game between Carthage and Pleasant Grove. Over to Region 3. On to Region 3, where, again, there's so many different contenders here and there's so much star power. We start with Silsbee. The number 2 team in the state polished off an undefeated regular season and looked good doing it. They have unbelievable skill talent. Draylon Miller, the 5-star wide receiver, an unbelievable playmaker. Ashton Cartwright, Trey Kibbles, their team is absolutely loaded. What happens when they get into the playoffs and run into a team like Bellville in the regional semifinals? Bellville, a very dangerous team. Their running game is out of control and their defense has been spectacular. They have potentially a second-round matchup with Madisonville. Down here, the bottom half of the region, Cuero looms very large. A team to keep an eye on. The Gobblers are known for making deep playoff runs. Hampshire Finette would be a very difficult second-round matchup for Cuero if they were to get there. Waco Connolly is a team that, again, the skill talent is unbelievable. Can they play up to their capability? If they do, they've got an opportunity to make a run. Jasper is another team that you do not want to see in the playoffs, a very physical ball club. Over to Region 4. The Region 4, there's one team that I think everybody's going to be paying attention to, and it is Wimberley. The state finalist from a year ago is back. Cody Stover, their quarterback, I think has really grown up and become much more of a complete quarterback. Looks excellent. They are, in my opinion, at least the favorite this part of the region. A third round matchup with Ingleside, a team that lost their Week 11 game to drop to the second spot. That is really intriguing to me. Down here in the bottom half of the region, Sinton was the team that knocked off Ingleside. Sinton's defense, I think, gives them a lot of opportunity to make some noise. Port Isabel, the champions of District 16, another team with outstanding defense. That second round, they have a second round matchup potentially with Geronimo Navarro, which could be very intriguing as well. Navarro, team that started off a little bit slow, but has gotten hot at the right time. So again, Wimberley's your favorite, in my opinion, but Ingleside, and Sinton, I think, are the two teams that are the biggest challenges to the Texans. So overall, a lot of this is going to come down to what you think of Region 2 and what you think of Carthage. Is this a Carthage year or not, right? Can they find a way through what will be a very difficult Region 2? If they do, I think they'll be favored over the winner of Region 1. And then they get to a state championship game, could see a team like Wimberley or maybe a team like Ingleside or Sinton out of Region 4. Or up here, do they see a super athletic team like Silsbee or Cuero or a team with plenty of playmakers up here in Region 3? Or Bellville, a team to keep an eye on there. The Brahmas have been outstanding. No matter what happens, we'll have you covered every step of the way at TexasFootball.com.